Hey everyone, Angelo here, homeless filmmaker in LA. Been living in my car almost 2 years now. Literally almost 2 years, about another 7 weeks. It'll be 2 years. I look like a deranged homeless clown with my long hair. This is wild. Well, first of all, I'm not, like, the job search is so nuts. And I'm fine. I'm not like getting, what's the word, like, losing my nerve on it or anything. I'm not. I'm good. But I'm saying this for other people. In general, I speak for everyone. No, I don't. It is nuts how hard it is to even get a response on a job. And this was the case, I remember, in 2008. I know I applied to like over 100 jobs back then. And I think I pretty much got no responses. I remember even applying to Blockbuster. Now, I didn't quite realize, I think, that Blockbuster was going in a decline then. But I'm like, man, not even Blockbuster's getting back to me. And I worked in a movie theater. Like, you'd think there's some crossover. They're like, well, this guy likes movies. He's familiar with them. And a movie theater, that was the hardest job I've ever had. The most stressful, fast-paced. But I applied to like 100 jobs back then. I would literally spend like 8 hours a day just applying to jobs. And finally, I got one at a bank. I don't know how that worked out, where I got that. But yeah, I've been applying to jobs, and I'm waiting to hear this damn sanitation specialist job at this job placement firm. And I'm just realizing people, man, the ones who are really struggling, like, I'm barely getting by. I'm glad I have the videos to do. I don't know what I'll do with them to, do videos that get more people watching, but for now I'm just, being real, just showing what it's like to be a screenwriter, a beginning screenwriter, working like nuts. By the way, I'm going back. I've read this book 3 times. I'm going back to it. I'm not going to read it all again, but I'm devising another story, and I'm having trouble with it. I'm not going back to the very basic, like, DNA of it. I'm trying to rush through straight to the outline. I've got to go back to it, and there's some helpful stuff here about how to break down each character and stuff that I really just, it's helped me enormously. I couldn't write without it. If I'm not understanding each character, how they reflect on the story, all on the same idea, it makes a huge difference. And it's really like digging deep in the idea, but that's what I want. It's not worth doing unless I'm going to, do the most work possible. Well, trying to get it done as quickly as possible, to understand my story and how to get the most out of it and twist the story to make it really interesting and something people haven't seen before. But there's so many people, like, I've read some stories, like, people who are, a few days away from being evicted. They got kids, or they have diabetes. They're gonna lose their job, or they've lost their job. They're gonna lose unemployment payments. They're waiting for unemployment payments. They're barely able to have get food, and to have to apply for jobs. I'm glad I have my car, and that Sunspace is helping me out, because it's hard to apply on my phone. It just helps for a number of reasons, If I have to write a cover letter or something, which I pretty much don't do anymore, but just somehow the interface of the laptop, it's easier to apply. And I'm just glad my laptop still works after, being in the car in the heat, and in my last car, and it was, my car was destroyed, and I'm lucky my laptop survived it. And even that, I was only able to get that laptop refurbished from Micro Center in Virginia. But how people have to, survive and apply for jobs on top of that, and go through the indignity of this application process. I happened to find on, I guess it was DuckDuckGo, great search engine, by the way. Sometimes I need to go to Google because some stuff I can't find on it. But DuckDuckGo is great. And it supposedly doesn't track your info. It's all anonymous, your searches. They're a lot more ethical than Google. They don't, they're not running ads on all kinds of shady stuff and selling your privacy and doing all kinds of heinous things with their money, like working on, you know, horrible projects like spying on people anyways, people have to apply to those jobs. It's just miserable when you're trying to survive and, you know, you're stressed, you're miserable, you're not feeling good. You might be unhealthy. You know, you might have all kinds of family problems, people trapped because of the Trump virus at home in abusive situations. And again, I'm not losing my nerve. I'm like, well, I'll keep going, whatever. You know, I know how to figure. By this point, I'm glad I've been in my car already for 2 years. That helped build my resilience. And I'm still getting through my dissociative disorder, which is, in a way, it's like a coping mechanism because it just makes me numb to some stuff. But this is really nuts. This is why I think I'm going to title the video like I'm tired of being conned. I just went to the laundromat. I was trying to just use the scale, and I have $1 in my wallet. I was going to get quarters and just see what I weigh. They have a scale where you put in a quarter and see what you weigh. And I'm like, what is this? Did something change here? There was a big bluish board over where the change machine was. They were all blocked up, and there were signs saying like, please, you have to use your own quarters. We're a quarters only laundromat. Don't, like, if we run out of quarters, bring your own. If we run out of quarters here, we're going to go out of business. There's a coin shortage in the country. I'm like, this already made me laugh in a way. Like, this is the stupid shit that Mark Levin and other conservatives like that, when they want to get their base energized and supported, they start attacking other countries, acting like we don't have this here, saying, look, they have shortages. They don't have enough money to buy food and groceries. They have to wait in line for medicine. Their bread lines. They have to wait 6 weeks to see a doctor. I'm like, they have to ration their medical care. I'm like, are you nuts? Like, oh, they have to wait for medical care? That's not even an option for a lot of people here. A lot of people just die, or they don't go to a doctor. And they absolutely do ration their medicine, especially now with, it's getting harder to get medicine, partly because the post office, the service is being cut, and their, funds and stuff, whatever, all that situation's being cut, and also just because of the pandemic, I guess it's slowing things down. It makes it harder for people to pick up prescriptions or get them in the mail. I think people don't have to wait for medical care, and a lot of people only can get it because of, government programs like Medicare and Medicaid. And so he doesn't even want that. They don't even want that. But when it's time to make you angry and scared, they'll yell, look at Venezuela. You want to be like Venezuela? Venezuela. That's how he pronounces it. Whatever. Those communist Marxists want to destroy this country. They want to protest. Like, always trying to make you absolutely terrified of the most powerless people in this country, to make you think that they're incredibly powerful. And by the way, like, even though, like, Mark Levin says, he's not racist and stuff, he's absolutely racist. The guys like him, the only difference between them and the more, like, openly white supremacist, even though that's kind of a, loaded term. What's openly? He's already openly, but openly racist. But I mean, as far as people who just don't mask it as much, all they do is add on top of all his, like, fear-mongering about black nationalists and Marxists and stuff. That's, Marxists go straight into, white supremacist idea that, all these protests are trying to destroy the country, and all they add is, and the Jews are paying for it. That's it. So, I just thought it was funny. Like, it was ridiculous how, I don't care about not being able to weigh myself. I wanted to see my progress, because I'm pretty sure I'm losing weight. And, by the way, what's helping me? Just eating vegetarian for the most part. because I just get tired of cooking meat. It's a mess to clean up and everything. And also, instead of getting cooked chicken, I've just been getting some of these little pieces of like chicken that's been already cooked and vacuum sealed. And almonds. But yeah, it's a lot easier to lose weight just eating vegetarian. So I'm like, hey, it's good for me. I feel good. I fucking fart like a maniac. But it's just funny how the laundromat doesn't have quarters. And meanwhile, these guys say, we wouldn't want, like, this is what happens in socialist countries. So, you know, they don't know whether they're coming or going, because are you not saying it's happening here? Or are you saying, no, this is only happening here because we're socialist, and even though you're saying we're not and other people want to turn the country into one? They can never figure it out. And I listened to these douchebags a lot in the past. I listen to them less now, but I would listen to them a lot. And it's the same scare tactics from when I was a kid that they would say. And, you know, a lot of people just buy into it unreservedly, where it's just a whole different world. And I get it because I was in that, and I know what it's like. I can still recall it and sort of flip that switch in my mind if I want to, you know, recall it, even though, thank goodness, it's not like I'll just all of a sudden, you know, change like that. But anyways, I don't want to rant too much because I'll get dissociated. I'm going to keep writing, my screenwriting, you know, writing movies. Keep growing my hair, because I can't afford a haircut, and I don't really know where to get a haircut. I have seen signs saying, you know, I'll cut hair cheap and come to your house or whatever. I'm not that interested, whatever. I do look like seriously like a bad haircut on a deranged, like a really bad B-movie, 70s, it sounds like a great movie, a 70s clown serial killer or something. Like I'm going hitchhiking, like, hey man, like, I'm trying to get a job up north. You give me a ride? Damn, that's a really nice, what's the 70s car? Plymouth, I don't know. Alright, I'm getting dissociated already. It's kind of messing me up. But, yeah, that's funny. Coin shortage. And I was aware of it. Like, I remember going to Jack in the Box and feeling bad. I gave them a little cash, and I'm like, oh shit. They're like looking through a few pieces of change to give me. I'm like, oh man, they really are short on change. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know where you get quarters then. I mean, you can go to the bank and do it, but trying to get into a bank is a total pain. A lot of banks are closed right now, and I see outside people have to line up outside the bank. I'm like, screw that. There are a few laundromats that take credit cards. There's one around here. It's a real hassle. I wasn't even trying to wash my clothes today, but it's a real hassle sort of getting there, and when it's hot, it's just miserable dragging your clothes in with the heat, and the parking lot's real small, and I can only imagine it's getting busier now. But anyways, that's it for now. Keep watching, keep liking the videos, subscribe. The air quality is awful today and yesterday and the last few days because there's a fire around here, another one, and it looks like literally the sun is blocked out, it's not totally blocked out, but some places it has been blocked out, where it looks like night during the day. I've seen the news, but it's kind of blocked out a lot of times here where it looks orange or red. Just really you know, bizarre, and anyways, not good for the air quality. So, alright, that's it everybody. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. I do a lot of this stuff, and maybe I'll do funny videos again. And at my 2-year anniversary, in about 2 months from now, I'm trying to think of something to do interesting for my 2-year anniversary of having moved into my car, which made moving to LA possible.